Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ask Alan Anything, where we talk about books, publishing, marketing them, anything that relates to the publishing world. You can send us emails at bourgeoismedia@outlook.com. We'll check them from time to time and then respond on the show the answers we have for you, so you can come back and check often. The show is now available on Amazon Fire. So when you go to apps on Amazon Fire, go to education, and then just scroll to look for Ask Alan Anything or Indie Beacon Radio. Both programs are available on Amazon Fire. We're trying to work with Roku, Sling, and all the others soon, and hopefully we'll have something with them. But if you can't watch it on Facebook Live, or on our YouTube channel, or now on Amazon Fire. So we appreciate it, and we do look forward to getting more of your questions. Today, though, I want to start off with something that really surprised me. Even though I've heard this before over the years that I've worked in publishing and stuff, and still get amazed when I hear this. I was going through some programs, helping reach out to authors, letting them know of the programs that I've developed and helped create that are of value to them, and hopefully help them succeed more. And I got a response back, and I want to address it. I really sell more books than I want to, since I already have a full-time job, and trips to the PO, meaning the post office, take away my private time. Thanks for the offers, though. Okay, so that's great. He or she, whichever it was, is selling tons of books. That is so wonderful. So many people would love to be in that position. In fact, on average, based on the surveys we've done over the years, indie authors sell about 500 books a year. That's not a whole lot. So if they feel that their average, or what our survey average is, or that hopefully they're selling more than that, is too much time, and they don't want to continue to reach out and develop their skills, develop specifically marketing skills so that more people know about their books, then something's wrong with that. Just plain and simple. What author would not want to be able to sell thousands of books and have to worry about going to the post office a lot to deliver them? And that brings up another issue. If you've got that many sales that you're losing time from your family and your work time and stuff like that, hire somebody. It doesn't take that much to send out books every day or every other day or once a week. And it doesn't, you can work it out in your schedule to have enough sales going on. Plus, if you're selling the books directly yourself, why aren't you on a bookstore selling them, like Amazon or Indie Lector or any of those other ones that would love to sell that many books? All these companies are out to make money. So if you're not using them, then really how many sales do you have? And why are you complaining about it, or even commenting in that way? If anything, the response should have been, I am selling a lot of books and I do need help, but this is the help I need. That would have been more logical than saying, I'm selling too many books as it is. I just don't get that. I personally have sold thousands of books, and I love to sell more books, and I have no problem going to the post office. There are programs out there that will, matter of fact, USPS.com is the United States Post Office Service. You can do the mailing labels there, stick it on, and just wait for the postman to come pick it up. Or you can take it to work with you and let the postman come and get it there. There's a lot of other ways that you can do these things so that you're not spending too much time away from the family, if that is important to you, and it should be to a certain extent, of course. But to say, again, I'm selling so many books that I don't want to sell more, it just does not make sense. It makes me wonder, why are you in the business anyways? The whole point is to get the word out about your book, and so people are buying it in thousands and thousands of sales and stuff, or hundreds of thousands, and if you're lucky, even 1 million. So I was a little dumbfounded when I read that, and just, as you can see, I'm flabbergasted. It just makes no sense for any author to feel that way. There are so many programs out there that will help you. If you don't want to be selling the books out yourself, then contract with a bookstore and let them do it for you. Let them be the distribution. We do that with Indie Lector. We have worked with small publishers and individual authors, who don't want to spend the time doing that, would rather focus in on their craft or help getting more books out. So we will do it, and our expense is not that much, considering it frees you up to do all the other stuff you want to do. So always look for those type of businesses out there, even if it's just, you set it up with Ingram or Amazon and just let Amazon sell it exclusively. I mean, if you're concerned about your time, but you want to get your stories out there, there's ways to do it. So definitely consider it. Another thing I'd like to talk about is called We Fiction. I think I've mentioned this once before in one of my shows. This is a new writing contest that's beginning. Actually, it's programmed for 2020, but we're accepting the team members to start signing up now. So this is a concept. We want teams of authors, preferably 4-member teams, but you can do 2 or 3 if you want, that work together in a certain time period to create the story based on information that readers provide. So, for example, a reader who is donating money to the Dear Indie Literacy Program puts up a plot, or a plot twist, or a character, or a location, various fees, various donation amounts, and stuff like that. From that database, then, the author teams will review it, choose what they want to write, the topic matter or the plot, and what characters, what locations, all taken from that information that's given, and then in a short period of time, and we're talking about 3 to 4 months, write a book. They share in it, they work together, they create everything, and then when everything is done, the readers who have been submitting the information will now have an opportunity to read those books, judge them, vote on them, and choose a winner. And of course, there could be a variety of winners in different genres and stuff like that. But the bottom line is the readers will help us create those information databases while donating money to the Dear Literacy Program, which gets books into Title I schools and libraries that are in need. And then the authors can create from that. So they get to share in the readerships from the other authors and help explore and develop new styles, new critiques, get outside of their normal content. For example, if you have a sci-fi author and who wants to try ghostwriting or murder mysteries or suspense or something else, that gives the authors opportunities to expand their horizons, to grow as a writer. And the teamwork is really important too. It develops better relationships with fellow authors that support each other, not only in the writing process, but then afterwards with the readers and stuff like that. So everybody ends up winning. And more importantly, the money that's raised from both the book sales as well as the money donated by the readers then gets to go towards getting books into the places that need them. So it's a win-win on so many levels. Especially for readers, if they want to be a character in a story, they can put themselves in there. It's like $50 to put the information up there, give the description of what you think you are or what the character you want to be, or if you know some other person you think would be a good character. Any of that information can be put up there. So we hope you will check it out and participate in some level. The website for this is wefiction.dear.org, and you can go there and choose to be the reader or an author or both. If an author wants to be a reader and put up some information, you're more than welcome to do that. We do look forward to it. The cutoff deadline is the end of the year to make sure that the author teams will have enough time to be able to get in through all that information and choose what they want. We do have a couple of teams already created. Cup of Fantasy, Go Garrity, and the Fighting Mongooses are 3 teams that have been created. While they only have a small amount of authors, the authors are working with other authors to get them on their teams and to be involved and stuff like that. So go to wefiction.indie untitled.org and check it out, participate. We look forward to seeing you there. It should be a lot of fun and a great growing experience as well. And there is a book on there, by the way, that talks, it goes into quite a lot of detail about author teams, how to work as a team as an author, things to think about, ways to work, contract negotiations, a whole bunch of different things. So if you've ever thought of working with another author, this is a great book for you. It's a great book to read now before you get too far involved, so that you have expectations laid out for everybody and everybody knows what their job skills are, what they should be doing, etc. So you've got plenty of time to participate, plenty of time to find your teams, and to sign up as a team. It is free. So you are just committing to the time to write the novel based on the information, again, the readers will be providing. So we hope you will consider doing that. It should be a lot of fun. So another thing I want to talk about is the short story contest. There are tons of short story contests out there, specific genres, general themes, topic themes, a whole bunch of different things out there that are great avenues, not only to find out if you're meant to be a writer for those newbies, or to fine-tune your skills, or to use for marketing. Texas Authors has a contest. They're now in their 5th year, and they're accepting short story entries now through the end of July, that you can actually use to promote another book of yours. For example, if you've written a book and there is a backstory you would like to share as a short story, you can enter it. If you win, then you're allowed to put in a paragraph at the end as to why you wrote it. How does it relate to the book that you happen to write? It's a great marketing tool, and on average, 1,000 copies are given away to libraries around the country. So that's a great tool to get out there and get exposure. Even if you don't have a book yet, you can test it out and see what the response is, see the storyline, if it's something worth expanding upon, or just character development or anything of that nature. These are great tools to use. I know with Texas Authors, they're expanding to a nationwide short story contest, so it's open to any author who would like to participate. And it's for $35 to enter. And you get prizes. Of course, you get samples or the printed books, anthologies. You get notices, PR, press, all that type of stuff, on top of then getting that exposure of having 1,000 copies out there that people are reading and enjoying, hopefully. So those are good opportunities for you, and we encourage you to definitely consider doing it. It doesn't matter if you are an author for a long term, short term, ready to begin writing, whatever it is. Nano is coming up in November, and if you want to test out a story I did, this is a good way to do it. Or if you did write a book in the last Nano month, you can do a short story related to it to see what the response is from the judges, if they like it or not, or if there's something really to push and stuff. So there's a lot of different value to short stories, and I definitely encourage people to participate in those. You never know what you might find or what you might explore with. Now, ISBNs. How many of you know what an ISBN is and what it actually does? So I'm going to pull up my account so I can go through some things with you. When you purchase a package, and I definitely strongly recommend that you purchase no less than 10 if you're going to be a serious author, because that breaks down to about $30 per ISBN, and they're yours for your life, okay? So it's not like they expire on you. The only way they expire is if you die, and then they just sit there. But if you choose to buy like a single ISBN, you can do that for anywhere from $50 to $125, even $150. But you have to be careful where you buy it from. Some of those places that offer an ISBN for $50 or free if you publish with them or something of that nature, that means you're locked into their ISBN. And what that means is that they own it, that they're being listed as either a publisher and or a contact information for that book. Gives them a little bit of control over that book, and you don't want that. You can do that if you choose to go through the KDP Select and stuff like that, but there's negatives about that. Mostly bookstores will not carry those ISBNs. They don't want to give the competition to Amazon in that respect. So you can go to Boker, which is the official organization that handles ISBNs. Their website to purchase an ISBN is myidentifiers.com. Or if you just Google Boker, B-O-W-K-E-R, you'll come across it. Again, I suggest doing the 10-pack because it is more cost-effective. And in the long term, if you plan on being around to do a lot of different things, that would definitely be the way to do it. Okay, so I've got to change my password here. Bear with me a second. And then I will open up one of my ISBNs and talk about some of the aspects. Try that again. It helps when you actually match word for word and special characters and all that fun stuff. All right, so I'm in. I'm going to pull up one of my ISBNs. One of the good things about an ISBN is that it allows you to put in as much information about who you are or about the book so that people in the book industry can learn about you, okay? So for example, you have the title, of course, then you have the ISBN. Now, officially, the rules are you're supposed to have an ISBN for your print, softcover, and one for your hardcover, one for your ebook, and one for your audiobook. So right there, you're spending 4 ISBNs on just one book. So keep that in mind. You don't always have to do that through the process or do it all at once. If you choose not to do audiobooks, of course, you don't have to. If you choose not to do hardcover, you don't have to. But the official rule is you should have an ISBN for every type of format that you do your book in, okay? So when you put in the information, of course, you're going to put in the title, if there's a subtitle, your main description, your cover image, the year it was published. Those are your basics, okay? And you do want to make sure that information is in there. Some information you can skip, but it's best to get as much of the information in there as possible. Because when this goes into the database for bookstores and other sources, that helps then people to relate to your book and to know what it is about. And of course, then help with the process of purchasing and determine if it's something to carry. And of course, the content language, that's always important. Translation date, title, if you choose to do a translation, then you definitely want to have your own ISBN set up for that. So you want to make sure you have that information in there. Not only the publication date, the copyright date, and things of that nature is important. The contributors, of course, is always important. You have an author. If you do a children's book, you have illustrators. If you have drawings within a how-to book or a learning type of book, self-help, anything that may require additional drawings or imagery, you definitely want to add that person in there so that they get proper credit, especially if you've contracted and worked through that. Now, if it's general use items, then that's free items. You don't have to necessarily do that for the book. But make sure you definitely get in there the information about the author and the biography. Keep it short and sweet. You can only do so many. With the ISBN system, it only handles 350 words. And for most authors, you should pretty much have 2 types of bios, one being about 100 words, and then one being no more than 150. Ideally, 250 to 500 range is perfect. You don't want to get into too much detail about your personal life. Again, unfortunately, there are people out there that do steal the information and take that bio and then figure out who the person is based on some of the information that's in there. So I've always been cautious working with authors about that. For example, I got a bio a couple days ago that was 4 pages long that had way too much personal information in there. I made it clear to the author to cut it down to 2 to 3 paragraphs and take out a lot of that personal information, because you just don't want to give that out there in the public. You only want the information that really relates to what the book is about and to give a little feedback about who you are and stuff. So the other information then, of course, is the size and the format. Is it a standard 8.5 by 5.5, 6 by 9, 8.5 by 11? Is it a coffee table that's a little bit larger? Is it paperback? Is it a ebook? Is it a CD-ROM? Is it audio? Whatever it is, all of that information, of course, is important. The more information, again, you put in there, the better it is for people to understand what it is and to consider whether they want to do it. Same thing. Now, on pounds and stuff like that, you may not always know what the pound weight will be. Once you get into actually getting it printed, you can always go back and fill this information in from the information you get from either Ingram or Amazon or wherever you choose to print it. You do want to make sure the size of the item is in there and indicate whether it's metric or US poundage and stuff like that. Editions. For example, we help publish a short story collection. So we need to put that information. If we have more than one or two in there, we want to make sure that the series number or the volume number or whatever relates to that information, whatever type of book it is, that information should be in there, okay? And of course, then other information, it's all laid out there. It's very basic, very simple, but it should be filled in. Now, the sales price. Of course, start right off the bat with the country you're in. For us, it's the United States. Do we want to sell the book beyond that point? That's something to consider. Now, the more information you put in here, even if you duplicate it in Ingram or Amazon, the better. Again, it's a database that certain people are looking at to determine if they're wanting to buy the books. They're going to scan through a lot of information, but the more information you have, the better opportunities you have. It's like anything else. More that people know about the book, the better the opportunities for sale. So once you've gone in, chose the publication date, the release dates, whether you're given a trade paper discount, which is your basic distributor discounts and stuff like that. Is there an imprint or other than the publishing? For some publishers, they have multiple imprints. One may be for adults, one may be for children, one may be for sci-fi, one may be for this or that or whatever. So they choose different imprints to help separate it out. And that information is also important. Is it an active record? All those type of things. If it's a children's book, what age range? You need to know that, because if you're not really aware of what the age range is for your book, you're not going to be able to properly market it and stuff. So that's really important to know that information, even if it's a young adult book or if it's an adult book. Some adult books, like erotica, may be, suited for 18 or over, or even 21 or over. What is your country? What is your ethnic areas? All those type of things you should be aware of, and want to make sure you properly enter that information into it so that you can give the proper information. You don't want a child buying an erotica book. Once you've gone through and completed the rights, whether it's worldwide rights or local to a specific country or anything of that, the retail prices, all of that information. Once you have all that in there and you've saved it for that particular country, then add other countries. Do you want the book available in Canada? Do you want the book available in the UK or soon to be in London, the Britain countries, or United Kingdom countries, excuse me. Do you want it in Asia? Do you want it in Australia? Do you want it wherever? All of those countries should be listed in here as well as in your other distribution channels. Again, more information, the better. And this helps you narrow down to how you want to sell the book. If you only want to sell in one country, that's perfectly okay. There's no problem with that. Leave it then for just one country. So those are the basics of what the ISBN is. Now, there's a lot of services that Boker and my identifiers allow you to do. Getting your barcode, sales materials, all these different things, advertising in certain journals and all that stuff. It's all laid out in there, and you can definitely learn it and be able to work with it. So don't hesitate to don't hesitate to take a look and see what's available to you. Tongue got a little tied there. Those are some of the basics and stuff like that. Again, as we go through our different episodes, if you have a question, please feel free to email me at bourgeoismedia@outlook.com. Take a look at any of the organizations I've created to help authors. We have txauthors.com, indiebeacon.com. We have our authors marketing events. You can check it out this year at 2019.authors.marketing or authors.marketing. There's no .com. We have the We Fiction program. We have the National Authors Day program coming up in November. You can go to authors.dearindie.org for that. So there's a lot of different programs out there, so definitely check them out. If you're interested in doing a radio show interview, go to radio.indiebeacon.com, and you can go through the website to find the form to fill out so you can be interviewed on our show. We have a lot of different programs out there, so we hope you use them. I want to thank you for being with me. And again, if you have any questions, please email me at bourgeoismedia@outlook.com. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Authors, do you know the true cost of being published? In the Authors Revolution Workbook, BL and Bourgeois gives you hands-on tools to use and to understand the true cost of being published. He will also give you information about low-cost or free programs that are designed to help you market your book. BL and Bourgeois has been helping hundreds of authors since 2011, educating them on how to better market and sell their books. Buy the Authors Revolution Workbook exclusively at indielector.store